Most folks think used motor oil is just oil. It is not. 1 quart can pollute about 1 million gallons of water. That is a lake gone. I am Morgan Lane, your auto safety guy with more than 15 years under the hood. And today I am making this easy and calm. Tip right up front. Use a clean, sturdy, leak-proof container and label it used oil. Keep it sealed. Keep it out of sunlight until drop-off. You are watching Recall Roadmap with Morgan, and we are going step by step so you feel confident and compliant. Here is the truth I see in shops every week. Used oil is simply oil that has been run in an engine and is now contaminated by heat, dirt, and tiny metal. The good news is big. In the United States, about 380 million gallons of used oil are recycled each year. You can be part of that win without spending $1. Here is our plan. We will drain it cleanly, store it right, drop it off for free, drain and recycle the filter, and keep a simple log so you are covered. How do you currently dispose of your used motor oil after an oil change? Tell me below. First up, let's safely drain and store your oil without a mess. Changing your oil sounds simple, but spills love to surprise you. A little drip here can become a slippery driveway and a stain that never fades. I start by warming the engine just a bit so the oil flows. Then I slide a clean drain pan under the plug and keep gloves on. Once it is done draining, I use a funnel and slowly pour the oil into a strong leak-proof jug. Reusing an empty clean oil bottle or a proper drain pan with a cap works great. Label it used oil in big letters. Leave a little air space before you cap it. Never mix in coolant, brake fluid, solvents, or gasoline. Mixing can turn routine recycling into a hazardous waste headache. Used oil is any petroleum or synthetic oil that has been used and is now contaminated from normal engine wear. When you store it, keep the container upright, sealed, and in a cool, shaded spot away from sunlight and heat. I like to set the jug in a shallow tray, just in case. Do this, and your oil stays safe to recycle, just like millions of gallons do every year. Now that your jug is ready and clean, the big question is simple. Where do we take it for free, fast recycling? Got a full jug? Good. Do not toss it in the trash. Many places will take your oil and the filter for free. Auto parts stores are my first stop. Programs at big chains let you bring in used oil and your filter, and they send it to a proper recycling center at no cost. Quick lube shops often accept it too. Your city or county household hazardous waste site is another solid option, and they sometimes host weekend events. Because hundreds of millions of gallons get recycled in the United States each year, these drop-offs are common and easy to find. There are simple limits to keep it smooth. Expect about 5 gallons per visit and up to 2 filters. Call ahead so you do not waste a trip. Pro tip: use an online finder or your local waste website to map the closest spot before you load the car. If this helps, subscribe to Recall Roadmap with Morgan for weekly safety and compliance tips. And please like and share so more drivers keep oil out of drains. You have the where. Next, let us talk about the part most people forget. Your used oil filter still holds a lot of oil. Here is how to drain it the right way. Your old oil filter looks done, but it still holds a surprising amount of used oil. Tossing it straight in the bin wastes oil and can leak in a truck or landfill. Here is the better way I teach drivers. After you remove the filter, take a punch or a sturdy screwdriver and make a small hole in the dome end. That breaks the vacuum. Hang or rest the filter upside down over your drain pan and let it drip for at least 12 hours. Overnight is perfect. Many folks go 12 to 24 hours to be sure. You will be amazed how much more oil you recover for recycling. Pour that recovered oil into your used oil jug and recap it. A properly drained filter is mostly steel. That means it is acceptable as scrap metal at many locations, and a lot of auto parts stores collect filters along with oil. If your area does not have a filter recycler, Draining and then wrapping the filter in newspaper for the trash may be allowed. But recycling is always the better move. Filters drained, oil saved. You just kept more contamination out of the environment and out of your trash. Now, what if someone dumped that oil instead? The risks and the fines are not small. Let me show you why. Think dumping oil is no big deal because it is only a little? Think again. 1 quart poured into a drain or onto the ground can contaminate about 1 million gallons of water. By that same scale, a single gallon can ruin about 4 million gallons. That is harm to streams, wildlife, and drinking water, all from one sloppy oil change. The legal side is ugly too. Many states can hit you with fines in the hundreds to thousands of dollars for illegal dumping. And if used oil gets mixed with certain contaminants, regulators can treat it like hazardous waste. For example, used oil with more than 1,000 parts per million of halogens is presumed to be mixed with hazardous waste. On top of that, cleanup is expensive. Oil stains in soil or on a driveway often require special cleanup, absorbance, and disposal. The fix is also the easiest thing you have heard today. Do not dump. Keep the oil in a sealed jug and use the free drop-off. It protects your wallet and your community. No dumping, period. So if dumping is off the table, some folks ask a different question. Could you burn used oil to heat your garage? Here is the truth about that myth. Use old oil as free heat? It sounds clever, but it is risky and often illegal. Here is the straight answer. Yes, used oil can provide energy when it is properly processed and burned in approved equipment. That is how large facilities recover energy, and it can be about the same as heating oil. But that does not mean you can pour used oil into a normal furnace or a space heater at home. For homeowners, you need an approved waste oil heater and clean, processed oil, and you must follow local rules. Otherwise, you are in violation. Never mix used oil with gasoline, solvents, or other fluids to make it burn. Mixing can push it into a hazardous waste category, which changes everything and creates serious legal risk. In real life, home burning is rare, regulated, and often not worth the cost or the paperwork. Recycling is safer, simpler, and free at the places we already covered. So skip the burner and keep it clean in the jug. Now let us flip the script. If all this oil gets recycled, how good is the product that comes back to store shelves? Re-refined motor oil raises eyebrows, but it should raise smiles. The process is high-tech. Used oil is cleaned, distilled, and rebuilt into fresh base stock. The result, in modern plants, meets the same engine specs as new oil. Industry experts classify these base oils as Group 2 or Group 3, the same categories used for many virgin oils on shelves today. I have seen fleets run on re-refined motor oil, with no complaints and clean lab reports. The bonus is huge for the planet. Re-refining uses roughly 50 to 80% less energy than refining crude into new oil, and it keeps more used oil in a closed loop. You get performance, protection, and a smaller footprint. If you choose re-refined oil next time, you are voting for less waste without giving up quality. That is a smart, quiet win every driver can make. Re-refined is as good as new where it counts. With quality myths out of the way, let us deal with reality in the garage. What happens if a spill hits your floor or a pan gets bumped? Here is a simple way to clean it up fast and keep the oil headed to recycling. Spilled oil happens, even when you are careful. Stay calm and move with a plan. Step 1. Contain it. Block the edges so it cannot run to a drain. Step 2. Absorb it. Sprinkle kitty litter, sand, or lay down absorbent pads over the spill. Let them pull the oil in. Step 3. Recover as much oil as you can. If you are using reusable pads, wring the oil back into your used oil container. The goal is to maximize recovery so more of that oil gets recycled, not tossed. Step 4. Bag and dispose of the used absorbent properly. Some areas treat oily rags and pads as used oil waste. Check your local rules. A small spill kit makes this painless. I keep pads, kitty litter, gloves, a scraper, and a heavy trash bag in a bucket near my workbench. Prevent the next spill too. Slide a mat or cardboard under the engine before you pull the drain plug, and keep your funnel close. Cleanup done, driveway saved, and the oil stays in the recycling stream. With the mess handled, there is one last piece that makes every future change easier. Let us keep simple records and a few tools ready. Ever forget when you last changed your oil? A tiny bit of tracking fixes that. I keep a simple log for each vehicle. Write down the date, the odometer miles, how many quarts you drained, and where you dropped the oil and filter. Label your jug with the date and miles too. If anyone asks for proof of proper disposal, you have it. If a leak starts, you will spot it fast. Set a reminder on your phone for the next change based on time or miles. Keep your tools ready in one spot. Drain pan with a cap, funnel, gloves, rags, and a few absorbent pads. Before each change, plan the drop-off. Use a local waste website or a recycling finder to choose the closest store or household hazardous waste site that accepts oil and filters. To make this even easier, download our simple disposal checklist from the description and set that reminder now. With a log and a plan, oil changes feel simple and clean every time. You now have the full system. Let us wrap it up with the key takeaways and your next step. Here is what we did today, start to finish. We drained the oil cleanly, stored it in a sealed and labeled jug out of sunlight, found free drop-off options, drained and recycled the filter, learned why dumping brings damage and fines, cleared up the burning myth, looked at the quality of re-refined oil, cleaned up spills the smart way, and set up a log and tools for next time. That is a full plan that protects your wallet, your driveway, and your community. When you follow these 5 easy habits, you keep oil out of water and turn waste into a resource. If this helped, please subscribe for more practical, safety-first guides, and tap like and share to help a neighbor do this right. Thanks for watching. Which step will you do first next time? Labeling the jug, mapping a drop-off, or draining the filter overnight? I will see you in the next one. And until then, keep it safe and keep it simple.